Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Frost and Fire. Last episode, we had a pod drop raid of mechanoids land in my backyard. It sucked, was not so happy about that, and I'm going to take some measures to prevent the level of damage that they caused to happen again. Namely, I think what I'll do is put a few more turrets back here, at least to lure the mechs away so they do less damage, and then also to put some EMPs back here as well, giving my people a little bit of time in order to be able to react to the situation. One of the things I'm doing in this episode, I would like to try to set everything back to normal. Normal being to repair and replace all the things that got damaged or broken or whatever. And then, if there is a free moment, you know, some breathing room, I'm going to pop open the Ancient Danger. I also wanted to talk about, a little bit, briefly, to talk about the Stone Skin. I'll do that in just a second. I'm going to try to call in a bulk goods trader. And really, I'm going to hope that the bulk goods trader does not traverse right into this mech cluster. So, I did some crunching here. And JD and Storeback are joggers, but no one else is. No one else moves faster. Luckily, we don't have anyone that moves slow. When we equip Phoenix armor, the average person, let's say Gabe here, with 2 bionic legs at 5.6 speed will drop to 4.75 speed. 4.75 speed happens to be, let me find a healthy Scyther, 0.5 faster than a Scyther, which means that if I installed armor skins of any type, you know, these guys, armor skin, stone skin, tough skin, armor skin being the 90% move, stone 85, and tough skin 95, that would mean that my average person wearing Phoenix armor and with, let's say, armor skin could not outrun a Scyther, and I think that is a dreadful mistake. So, as a net result, what I'm saying to you all is I'm actually not going to be installing armor skin, stone skin, or tough skin in anyone except for JD and Storeback. JD and Storeback are both joggers, and they can afford the extra movement speed penalties that come with the armored skins. I also want to explain a little bit more clearly, because I honestly misspoke about the armor mitigation, about how armor works. So when you get shot, let's say you get shot in the chest and you are hippie, it will first calculate penetration on your outer layer. Your outer layer, of course, in this case would be a duster with only 6% sharp. Basically, this armor is not going to stop bullets. Just, it won't. Then it's going to check your middle layer. In this case, it is the flak vest with a sharp of 130%. There's the chance, of course, that the flak vest only covers your torso, neck, and shoulders. So if you're shot in the arms, for instance, the flak vest doesn't help you, right? Because the duster here will cover arms and legs, but not, it does not cover, the flak vest doesn't cover your arms. So if you're shot in the torso, neck, left or right shoulder, the flak vest will help you considerably. If you're shot anywhere else in the torso, let's say your arms technically are part of your torso as far as the game is concerned, this doesn't help you either. And then it goes to the skin layer. And this skin layer has a 32% sharp resist for arms. But if you're shot in the torso, neck, or shoulders, the shirt also helps you. So when you are shot, you know, let's say it's a shot to the chest. It has to go through a duster, then a flak vest, then a leather shirt. And that is 3 layers that calculates differently. And then last but not least, you'll have the skin gland layer. So at the very, very, very best of the stone skin, this has a sharp of 70%, which is high, but it's still half that of a flak vest. and at an enormous amount of move speed cost. So the stone skin, the armor skins in general, what they're very good at protecting is things that don't normally have coverage. You know, namely hands, fingers, and toes, right? There is a joke of RimWorld, of course, that your fingers and toes fall off constantly, and that's because most armor doesn't actually cover fingers and toes. If you take a look here at pants, for instance, it just covers your legs. If you take a look at shirts, you know, obviously it's not going to cover your hands. There's very little that actually physically covers your hands. We take a look at the, even the recon armor here, it's just arms and legs, you know. So the stone skin is very good at protecting things that would otherwise be exposed, like fingers and toes, but fingers and toes generally won't get you killed. It takes a considerable effort to remove enough fingers and toes for you to bleed out or whatever. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the benefit of armor skins, I'm saying armor skins as a sort of umbrella for all three, is only if you are so unbelievably fast that you can afford the movement speed penalties. And for me, if you can't outrun a Scyther or a melee brawler, you should not slow yourself down, right? So the only people that can afford the armor skin, tough skin, stone skin would be JD or Storbeck because they have a 0.4 movement speed buff. Everybody else wearing the Phoenix armor, which is going to be the armor I wear for the reactor raids because it is really, really, really tough, right? You know, it's tough and it also covers arms and legs. It has really good coverage compared to a flak vest. Flak vests are really great. Don't get me wrong. Flak vests are very, very powerful tools, but they don't have the coverage that a Phoenix armor will because flak vests don't cover your arms and legs and the Phoenix armor does. The Phoenix armor also has incredibly good heat protection. So we can fight in the, we can fight in the summer and not really have to worry about heat stroke. So I guess that's my sort of calculations. And then what I'm going to have to do, I'll probably do this offline, but I'll have to calculate what level of armor, stone, or tough skin that JD and Storbeck can get away with and still be able to outrun a Scyther. Because if you can't outrun Scythers, you're going to die to them. And for me, I always prioritize movement speed over armor, because if you can outrun an enemy, it will never get you. You can't necessarily out-tank all enemies. That's just not something that you can reliably do. Let's say I get a raid of 85 Scythers. Well, if I can outrun them, I can shoot and run, right? I can kite them. If they run me down, what can I do? Well, I can use jetpacks, but limitedly. I can use psycasts, but limitedly. I could use shock lances or incendiary lances, but again, limitedly. Essentially, my options for being able to deal with brawlers, whether it be Scythers or Reaper brawlers, pretty limited if I can't outrun them. It's very easy, of course, to outrun centipedes, because centipedes don't move fast at 1.9, right? So anyone can outrun a centipede unless you're, you know, a bad back, a bum leg. A lot of health conditions would be required. And the pikemen don't move very fast either at 2.5. That's pretty easy. But lancers and scythers are the people to beat at 4.7. 4.7, mind you, is faster than a standard pawn. A standard pawn will move at 4.6, ones that don't have any bionic legs. So this is why bionic legs are so important. Bionic legs also have the benefit, same with the arms, also have the benefit that when you have a bionic leg or arm, you no longer have toes or fingers. The entire bionics replace your fingers and toes so that you can't lose individual fingers and toes, and you also won't bleed or get frostbite. So another advantage when you're in a cold biome like I am, the lack of frostbite's kind of nice because I can be outside and sure, eyes and ears can get frostbitten, but fingers and toes can't. And toe frostbite is particularly dangerous because generally when you're hypothermic, you're already moving slow. And then if you get damage to your toes, you're just not going to be able to outrun or run into cover or safety or whatever. So that's enough yammering from me. We have a lot of repair back here to do. And that's going to be my priority. And then to set it up so that I don't end up with, you know, unfortunate, annoying destruction of my stuff. So one way to do this would be to nest things like turrets back here that will anger mechs, and then set them up with traps to stun them. And in that way, you know, we'll be able to sort of prevent the overwhelming destruction of my power grid. I could also wall these up individually, but I don't think that the benefits outweigh the costs. The same goes for, I had a few YouTube comments saying, hey, wouldn't it make sense to put stone here? Yeah, I mean, it does, but, you know, in 8 years, this has set on fire once, so rebuilding an entire building for something that has happened once, in my mind, is not really a good use of my resources or time. It's a one-off event. It is not recurring. We have this awesome assembly here, which I will probably be accepting for honor, so that I can use more honorable, or I can use more aid. And I'll accept that in just a minute. JD is cranking out another charge rifle because Hippie, Gabe, Leth, JD, and Storbeck, all 5 should have 5 fast fire rate weapons, and I only have 4 fast fire rate weapons, as you can see. I'm sort of phasing out charge lances at this point because charge lances, although they do really, really high pen, their DPS is not fantastic. It's okay, but it's not fantastic. I've also turned on the deep drills for steel because rearming and repairing everything is going to cost me a whole lot of steel, and I'll need to be able to replace that cost. Why does JD have... Okay, well, let me fix this. He had 6 meals on him. And a fine meal. Let me check everyone else. Yeah, Phoenix is a fine meal too. Pop. I like how I can get them to drop it while they're asleep. Yeah, because I was briefly eating fine meals, everyone pocketed one, and few have put them away. I'm gonna have Hippie round up the fine meals and put them where they belong. Here, for your work, Hippie, I will give you a fine meal. You're welcome. She's going to be doing a lot of cleanup of stuff, so I'd like to make her happy. All right, Storbeck, let's give you that rifle. And then Leth, Hippie, and Gabe switch out. I'm going to be accepting this quest for Raptor. And... oh, that is a very unfortunate shaped monument marker. I always forget where the monument markers are. Buildings? Miscellaneous? Oh, I don't know. Special? There it is, special. We have a truly ridiculous amount of cotton or cloth now, so I'm going to switch that back over. We'll have the caravan I called in soonish. I'm going to have Bash haul this monument marker. But I'm not going to start building the monument marker until this old monument is torn down. And then, given the size of this monument, this unfortunately phallic-looking monument, I think I'm going to need to mine a few of the ancient metal that's in the way. Ah, one fine meal went pop. Oh well. So we are almost at the point where I'm going to be switching off my coolers in lieu of heaters. Oh, hey there, baby crab 15. So the backup coolers I'm going to be removing. And then I'll switch over everything else. There's some doors out here that really need to get flipped. Like these and this. I'll make an effort to do that in a minute. Trying to get everything set back up and correctly so that I'm in a better position to take on more enemies. It's weird to be installing the pods before the pod launchers. Bash, I'm going to have you come out here and flip these doors for me for security's sake. Maybe 2 more days and I'll switch from AC to heating. We're not quite there yet. We're getting close. I could probably turn off a bunch of these extra coolers though, because I don't really need them. And then also, given that the temperature is becoming more temperate, I will switch Raptor's research from actual research to ground penetrating scanning. Or rather, he'll make drugs. Okay, sure. So these 2 pod launchers should be set to max fuel like the other ones were. Everybody here has fast fire rate weapons, the assault rifles and the charge rifles. I'll just build it. Getting a lot of these sort of backup turrets online. We did mine a whole lot of gold, but I guess we haven't hauled it yet. Hippie, what are you working on? Cleaning fire foam? Yeah, no. Scanned uranium. Oh, there we go. It's not in a convenient spot. But that will be really, really, really good to dig out as fast as I can when the reactor raids are coming, because of course the ship itself will require uranium, and then all of the uranium slug turrets are going to require really an immense amount of uranium, I suspect. Okay, I'm going to flip this door to protect the monument, and flip this one too. We'll wait until we break down that monument, but we still... Actually, most of my power grid looks repaired at this point. That's good. And then most of the slag that dropped around here, and it's all pretty clean. We're in a pretty good position. So this trade with Faint Ban, I'm not going to be doing. I don't have a trade shuttle to call in, and I don't want to walk home, leaving someone, you know, AWOL for a while. Or not AWOL, I mean, they'll technically have leave, but leave them away. I think now would be the time to switch from summer to winter shooting and winter brawling. We're just about at that time that we could do the gear swap. Also looks to me like my stockpile is just about full up. One of the things I could do here, given that my reputation with my allies is a little less than desirable, I'm going to send them some gifts. I'm going to send them some of my slightly more worn out clothing. Still good stuff, but, you know. And then let's send them some corsets. Anything else? No, that looks fine. Some leftover partial drugs. Oh, and the yayo too. I don't really need the yayo anymore. Okay, load up and go. Looks like I don't have room to store the dusters. So, clearing out my stockpile of extra stuff is a good way to deal with that. Because I don't want my dusters outside of my stockpile. That's not desirable. All right, let's get that loaded up. Once everything is sort of squared away, I plan on trying to open up that ancient danger. I just need to be in the, you know, be in a good situation so that I'm not taxed or anything. Installing dead power. So these EMP IEDs will knock out the turrets themselves if, you know, if I'm attacked, but it will also draw mechs away from more delicate parts of my base. So it's a double-edged sword. And it will buy me time. Time to be able to react if they do land on me like they have. And I think that's probably most important to me. I think what I'm going to do is, oh, this door needs to be closed. Oh, it's already flagged to be closed. I'm going to remove a lot of this from home zone, just adding the doors. Because the doors are important for compartmentalization for bugs, but everything else, you know, if it gets destroyed, I know how to replace it. Store back. Wrong place, wrong time. I'm going to have you close that door. I don't want anyone marching in from behind. Okay, at this point, my constructors are probably about to destroy this old monument. Everybody is in their parkas, except for, of course, Raptor, who's in his royal armor. That checks out. Almost done with all the mini turrets back there. One could make the argument that those mini turrets would have been better served being plasteel, but it's not what I did. Oh, are you kidding me? Father of Gabe and father-in-law of Lath, they... Oh, man. Their entrance point was on top of the mech cluster. So, who is it? A guy named Rubber. Oh, when he's in front? Well, he's dead. So this bulk goods trade did not work out. Generally what happens is the animals will book it. Oh, and they have an L-Tech skull cap too. That's unfortunate. I'm not going to be able to get the trade done in time, I don't think. I'll try, I guess, but I doubt that this will be fruitful. So Raptor, go this way. Because Fluffles here is going to leave. Yeah, he's already gone. Alright, Raptor, forget it. Well, they managed to take a singular Scyther out. And almost all the gear they came in with will burn up. Except for this guy's stuff. And I'm not going to be able to get that. Oh no, they took 4 mechs out. I kind of feel bad. So this gift bag that I'm setting up for them now has added meaning, I suppose. As an apology to getting all of you killed, here is some corsets. Okay, now that I say that out loud, perhaps I'm not the good guy. Oh well. Someone's wearing that parka. Who's wearing that parka? Hippie's wearing the parka. Well, Hippie, take that parka off. It's a 60% parka, so we'll just wear something that isn't about to decay. Launch. 20 rep for machinists. As a little mea culpa for getting them all murdered. All but one. All but the traitor themselves. He made it out. I think what I'm going to do is have JD prioritize tailoring for a bit, because we have a truly obscene amount of cloth here, and I'd like to get through the cloth backlog in order to be able to trade and sell stuff for it. So if my constructors... Okay, yes, that's exactly what I thought was happening. My constructors are repairing stuff. That means they're done deconstructing stuff. Next project is going to be this monument. Just for honor. But honor can be really, really helpful when I have to call in a salvo or something like that. This structure will be made out of steel. And let's start working on that. An area assault. Skeletons have set up a camp and are harassing United Cities. Caloris is planning an aerial assault on the camp, which is guarded by only 5 skeletons. Want me to provide 1 soldier to fight 5 skeletons? Oh, come on now. What? She'll bring me, pick me up, feed me en route. 1 soldier, 5 skeletons. Oh boy, that's ridiculously risky. I mean, I'll probably accept it, to be honest, but we're gonna have to go Rambo on them. I think the best bet is to utilize like a shooter that can move quick. So probably JD. But JD is also a crafter, so it is a huge risk. Also, to note, if you get knocked down, you're just dead forever. Because there is no chance for recovery. Because as soon as one person's out, you know, that's it. It's over. Oh, I don't like that at all. It's only 5 skeletons, but still, 1 versus 5 is pretty rough. I would send a Psycaster. The problem, of course, with that is skeletons or reapers are immune to Psycasts, so I can skip them around and stuff like that, but I can't do more than that. There's another tactic that I can use with JD that I just thought about, maybe, which is to try to set up traps. I'm not sure. I'll have to brainstorm that opportunity. That's pretty brutal. How long do I have? I have 10 days to think about it? Okay. At least that's a decent amount of thinking time. Okay, at this point, let's turn on heaters. I should have done that already. I definitely failed to do that. Turn off coolers. I'm so wrapped up in the traders that walked in and got smushed that I was not paying attention. All right, the chimneys are going to be filled in. Not the well, the freezer chimneys will be filled in eventually, but it's not cold enough for me to do that yet. All right, so the whole base should go green. Yeah, there it goes. We're good. All right, we're getting to a point where I feel comfortable messing with the Ancient Danger, I think. So once Hippie and Phoenix are up, I'm going to make a little bit of an effort to go do that. Everybody is already in good armor and clothing. So I'm just going to go with a large force and mess with them. There we go. Chimneys are filled in. Good. That will help to insulate me. Okay, everybody's up. Let's have at it. I think the best... So I'll show you one preferred method for checking what's in an Ancient Danger. Where you break like a slate wall corner like this. Or here. But I'm going to wait to do everybody, because when you break into an Ancient Danger, there are one of a few things that can happen. You can have mechanoids or insects. Mechanoids have a 50-50 chance of being passive or hostile. Now, if they're passive, that doesn't mean that they won't attack you. That just means that they won't try to break out of the Ancient Danger to murder you. And if they're hostile, they'll try to break out of the Ancient Danger to murder you. And then if the Ancient Danger has insects, they just act like a regular old insect hive. Nothing too special about that. Ancient Dangers can have artifacts, and they can also have cryptosleep caskets with opportunities to recruit people. Okay, we're all here. Vash, do the honors. Crack in a corner. So we've got a Scyther, a Lancer, and 2 Pikemen. I think my best approach here would be to go south. Also, I am going to spend a little granite to fill in a wall here, maybe 2. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to Bash stick around here, and then all of my shooters line up in this spot. Phoenix, go north. Okay, because we probably want to try to shoot the Scyther and not get hacked up by it. But then everybody else, we can use our shield belts. JD, you have a good rifle. Let's get you popping some shots. Killed it. Nice. Did they even notice? Nope. All right, fall back. This is when the movement speed is so crucially important, because if the Scyther can outrun us, it can kill us. And I'm using Psycast to stun it. Done. And then the rest of this fight is oh, restricted animal hauling. Let me fix that. The rest of this fight is pretty straightforward because they don't have Cauterize, turn around, man. Oh god, what are you doing, Cauterize? Pets inside. Because they don't really have the ability to hurt me. As long as I'm wise about this, which currently I'm not wise. Okay, there goes another one. And now we'll just dump on the Lancer. In fact, I'm going to try to do this with, yeah, no damage. So, all 4 mechs didn't get hurt. Now, these ancient cryptosleep caskets, so the way these work is they're all linked together. If you open one, they all open. And then if you damage them, what ends up happening is if there is someone living inside, they'll pop out. If the occupant is dead, nothing happens. So what I'm doing is I'm giving myself a clear line of sight to shoot this casket by mining some of this slag out of the way. And then I'm going to shoot the casket, open it up with my brawlers ready to deal with whomever is inside, or tank for my shooters. And then we will, you know, we'll roll from there. Let me go ahead and move this slag out of the way, though. Store back. I don't care where we haul this. Forget this zone. I don't care where we haul the slag. I just don't want the slag right in front of me. There. Okay, everyone come back. All right, so bash and Storbeck. All right, so we're all lined up. Let's go ahead and fire away. Okay, we have got Diamonds on a Reaper, Talon a Reaper, Guardian a Reaper Leader, a Reaper Hydraulic Knight, and a Reaper Sniper Bot. The Hydraulic Knight has a Moon Cleaver, which is insanely scary of a weapon, so I'm going to back... Oh, you know what? It's not hostile with me yet. Hold on. Don't fire at will. Everyone get back into position. Because they just popped out, they don't really have standing orders. So, fire at will now. Hello? Yeah, they don't know what's going on. Alright, let me stack here. Ooh, that was a good shot. What was that? Right into the CPU? Dang! These guys are too busy vomiting from the cryptosleep sickness to be able to offer up really any defense. Okay, well, that was an interesting ancient danger. One of the advantages here, of course, is, well, it was made of mostly stone, so I'm going to leave these two slate walls so that the whole thing doesn't come collapsing down on my head, but I'm going to remove as much of this ancient danger as I can, and then Raptor start butchering the Reapers so I don't have to look at their corpses. No artifacts in there, and then the occupants in the cryptosleep caskets were, of course... You know, let me not destroy the cryptosleep caskets. Let me leave them intact. There might be a use for them if I need to put someone in cryptosleep until I myself have built caskets. It can be useful to have caskets to use for whatever purposes. So my constructors are getting this monument done. This very strange, pointless monument. There we go. So all of the Reapers are now butchered, and I don't have to stare at their corpses. Okay, Raptor. Attempt an inspiration on JD. Another surgery. It's only surgery. You're killing me, game. Always hoping for creativity, always getting surgery. Oh, so there is one spot that will need to be wood. Okay. Acceptable. Area salt. Man, 1 versus 5 really has me worried. I think if I get one of my good shooters on Go Juice, so they move very fast and they have they travel with like 2 different weapons, like a sniper rifle and an assault rifle or charge rifle, to be able to switch between them, maybe. I won't definitively say no to that quest. I'm still going to think that one over. but I still have 9 days left. And then, fortunately, these steelies here are granite, which will be great for securing an area's sake. I think what I'll do is I'll run power out there too. Just keep cranking out the corsets. So with the spare rice that I have, I plan on making nutrient paste meals when I need to. I'm going to make them in smaller batches so they don't all rot, but I think that's going to be a pretty good use of them, the extra rice. Because foul meat never sticks around. Foul meat meals never stick around very long, which is unfortunate. That's just the way it is. We're getting to the point where soon we will no longer... I can probably power off most of my freezers and just have a few on in case of a miscalculation more than anything else. Deep drill, materials exhausted. Here, let me move it. Trying to figure out where I'm next to get my steel. There is some steel in these caves here, but it's not great to go there yet because it's pretty cold. Oh, nice. Leveling up in animals. What are my guys working on? My constructors still building this thing? Yes, they are. Good. That's what I like to see. JD's probably very tired of sewing up corsets, but it has allowed him to hit level 20. So I'm going to put him back to smithing so that he uses his current level 20 for the Phoenix armor. That's pretty important. Raptor's going to be sitting on the throne a little while because he burned a inspiration on, unfortunately, nothing. And we have a high psychic drone male, which is going to be really, really, really bad for Raptor. As you can see, his mood is going to tank. I'm going to consume a lavish meal because Raptor, of course, has the harmonizer. And with a harmonizer comes the penalties of spreading your mood around a little bit. Only having L-Tech skull cap and not the opposite, a foil hat, leaves me pretty vulnerable to these psychic events. And the same is true of Storbeck. Fortunately, Storbeck doesn't share his mood, whereas Raptor does. Despite the fact that I have a negative 57 here, my mood is holding. Watching people die, watching those Reapers die, being in an unbelievably impressive dining room, having an unbelievably impressive throne room, having a very impressive bedroom, opinion of fiancé hippie, sanguine, lavish meals, psychic tea. I mean, I'm doing everything I can to keep him happy, and honestly, it's working. So that's a nice little break. I hope this drone doesn't last very long because every other male in the colony here, as you can see, is not doing so well. In fact, other than Gabe, who's psychically deaf, I'm going to put everyone on, all the other males on pure recreation schedules so that they don't get mental broken. Or at least I'll attempt for them not to get mental broken. Because mental breaks when you have, you know, 30-something mechs on your map tile is a little dangerous. As I wouldn't want anyone wandering to that, you know? That'd be really bad. Well, everybody, that is all the time I have. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so very much for watching. It's always my pleasure to bring these episodes to you. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell.